At last, a miserable year of presidential campaigning is finally coming to a close. We may not know our winner, but it is not too early to tip our hats to these losers in our Minnesota Tonight 2016 election Losers Roundup. First, Bernie Sanders, the bridge troll that charmed his way into the hearts of America's youth by having a friend who could rap and serenading birds. After securing the elusive avian vote, Sanders went on to win 23 states in the Democratic primary, a feat he celebrated in the most American way possible by eating alone in a Pizza Hut. Much to the dismay of the white liberal bros who supported him, he lost the Democratic primary to Hillary Clinton. But Bernie still won the best Martin Luther King photobomb, and no superdelegate can take that away from him. On the other side of the aisle, we have former Florida governor and political bad boy, Jeb Bush. After years of sharing a bunk bed, Jeb begged his parents for a chance to get his very own room. While he started his campaign as a presumptive Republican nominee, Jeb quickly hit trouble as the electorate called for a more interesting, more bigoted candidate. Desperate to put some energy back into the campaign, Jeb went no holds barred with some intense grammatical changes, which did not inspire the way he had hoped. Perhaps because these punctuation marks would have been a little more appropriate. The American people haven't seen an exclamation kill a campaign since... As he dropped in the polls, Jeb's appeals to voters got more and more desperate.
Please clap.
Even stooping to trying to buy votes with shitty allusions to children's fables.
He walked over to me and gave me this little tortoise and said, slow and steady wins the race.
While Jeb did drop out of the race, as a consolation he did receive a tasteful portrait from his older, more successful brother. Keep up the good work, George.
On the home front, one of the major losses was your relationship with your dad. Last year, you and your dad were finally getting along just fine. You may have had some fundamental differences in opinions, but as long as you had a couple of sports stats in your pocket, you were able to dodge around any touchy subject. But now that Donald Trump has shown fellow 70-year-olds how to use the hottest technology to spread the oldest prejudices, your newsfeed is littered with news articles with titles like, "Is Hillary Satan incarnate?" and "Hallelujah, what Donald Trump just did to save Christianity." It's like Thanksgiving dinner, but all the time. Things may be bad now, but they aren't ruined for good. You two will just need time to mend. It's going to take a lot of Vikings wins, a lot of holding your tongue, and a lot of pretending that Jeff Foxworthy is funny. Women. They may be half the electorate, but that doesn't mean they were going to get any special treatment this election. In fact, this election cycle gets a special award for highlighting exactly how sexist the country still is in moments like this.
Well, what woman would you like to see on the $10 bill?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I'd put my wife on there, and she's put up with me. I mean, who else could possibly be on that money?
Literally anyone else.
And then that way she could spend her own money to her face.
Great choice. Instead of racking your brain to think of any woman who has made an impact on American history, you decided to point out that not even your wife likes you, but she sure does love to shop.
I would go with Ronald Reagan's partner, Margaret Thatcher. Probably illegal, but what the heck, since it's not going to happen.
Because nothing says American currency like a British Prime Minister. But what the heck? It's never going to happen, right?
When you want to go back through the tapes of your show recently, you are fascinated with sex and you don't care about public policy.
Typical woman journalist, only covering this major sex scandal because she ran out of romance novels to read in the bathtub.
You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy.
Ooh, that doesn't sound very presidential.
This is nothing more than a distraction from the important issues we're facing today.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for my concerns over sexual assault to distract from the real issues. So, tell me more about those emails. Watch your back, America. Women have put up with a lot of bullshit this election, but we're fighting back and we're ready to get nasty. Wait, that's not like how I meant. I meant that we were. And finally, the biggest loser of this presidential election has been facts. After serving the public in the first 56 elections and all of human history, facts are poised to have a strong performance this year. But, much like the Big Bang Theory, facts are only important to some of the population.
But what I said is equally true. People feel more threatened.
Yes, they feel it, but the facts don't support it.
As a political candidate, I'll go with how people feel, and I'll let you go with the theoreticians.
Well, I feel like you're full of shit, but you've got to hand it to Newt. Feelings are a lot easier to work with. You don't have to prove anything, you just have to say it and it's true. Like this.
Donald thinks that climate change is
a hoax perpetrated by the Chinese. I think it's real.
I did not.
Science is real.
I do not say that.
And I think it's important that we...
Except I feel like you did. And I feel that if PolitiFact is saying only 30% of your statements are even half true, makes me feel like jumping off a gold-plated skyscraper. But how can you ensure you're never wrong about anything when pesky facts stand in your way?
You tell me whether that's all made up.
No, I think they're two alternative universes.
That's a little Donnie Darko for someone who doesn't like theoreticians. But Newt, that may be the most accurate thing you've said in the past year. So let us all raise a glass to those who fought hard and lost harder this election season. This has been the 2016 Election Losers Roundup.
Please clap.